What I see within the Southern Baptist Convention is probably a little bit of a hybrid of what I consider to be critical race theory. Critical race theory starts in the 80s. It is a morphation of what I see as Marxism, the idea that everything is broken up into class systems. And basically within critical race theory, the way that I see it, I know that there are different definitions, but the way that I see it is that the class system within critical race theory says that there is the oppressed and there is the oppressor. And ultimately, this critical race theory is actually talking about a political agenda and the political realm of the United States, and that laws are inherently racist because the oppressor system has put those laws in place, and they've put them in place over the oppressor, as opposed, which is now we break these into races. So the oppressor is the white race and the oppressee is the black race. And this is how you get critical race theory. What has happened is that this Marxist notion has come into the political realm, and then ultimately it has bled over into social aspects as well, which inevitably has hit the church. And so what you have is you have people within the Southern Baptist Convention. There are predominant teachers and well-known pastors in the Southern Baptist Convention who have openly said, if you're white and you're in this church, you may not know it, but you're a racist.
Ouch! Really?
And you have predominant Southern Baptist preachers, good Southern Baptist preachers, by the way. And when I say good, I mean I've listened to them and gained from their sermons that have come out and said, I'm a racist. I didn't realize I was a racist, but I'm a racist. And so now, I'm apologizing for the sin of racism and all these kind of things. Well, ultimately, I think that this has huge implications. Number one, it is a distraction from the true gospel. Paul talks about this numerously. Actually, I just learned from in one of my classes, and honestly, when this curtain was kind of pulled back on the book, it was on the book of Jonah. I just kind of did an aha. And it's the idea that Jonah actually is going to Nineveh in I think it's 2 Kings. It talks about Jonah prophesying good over Israel, who was idolatrous and all these things. And he has no problem doing that. But then when you look in the book of Jonah, he doesn't want to go to Nineveh. Why doesn't he want to go to Nineveh? Because that's Assyrian. And so it's almost that he wants Israel to be saved, but he doesn't want the Assyrians to be saved. And so we see this actually translate into the apostolic scriptures as well. Paul talks about the notion that there is no longer Jew or Greek in the eyes of God. In other words, we are all saved the same way. We are all one in the body. And what I see as the critical race theory coming into the church is a denial of the idea that we are all one in Christ. Voddie Baucham has done unbelievable work on this, and he has written a book called Fault Lines. And I can't recommend that enough. I've only skimmed the first half of that book, but it is Voddie Baucham. I've watched numerous lectures that he's done on this topic as well, and he has hit the nail right on the head. Critical race theory is divisive for multiple reasons. First of all, we are not in a class system if we're in the church. Now, I know what people are going to say, and we can talk about the idea of political activism concerning race in our nation. Is it true that this nation has had racism as a part of its history? Absolutely. And we even see certain laws that have been put up because of racism. The Jim Crow laws are obviously a go-to for anyone who wants to talk about racism within our nation. Do we still see that today? I think that the pendulum has swung a bit. And now I'm not a person of color, and so I understand that people are going to say, well, maybe you think that, but I don't think that. Okay, that's fair. I don't understand the oppression that someone who is in this nation might feel. However, with that said, I know that there are white kids now. Ibram X. Kendi has actually tweeted this recently in the past week, that there are white kids who are now putting on their college applications that they're of color. Why are they doing that? Well, I would say that they're doing it because the pendulum has swung so far now. If you are a person...
It's the same reason Elizabeth Warren said she was Native American.
There might be some mental illness there, but yes, I agree.
She was reckoned as like one of the first women of color to like the Harvard Law Review or whatever.
Right. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.